There's crazies in the woodshed, freaks up the chimney flue. The Wizard of Oz, where the Wizard of Oz was, up the old wazoo. There's mutants from 3 Mile Island, we all know by the eerie glow. All calling in tonight on the Weird Show. The Weird Show. The Weird Show. All calling in tonight on the Weird Show. A spaceship crashed out in Roswell. Who knows where the bodies went? No weather balloon ever changed the tune or the lies of the government. But we'll all keep asking questions, 'cause folks have a right to know. They just find out tonight on the Weird Show. The Weird Show. The Weird Show. They just find out tonight on the Weird Show. Alien abductions, strange lights in the south of France. Vulcans and Cardassians all join in the cosmic dance. My karma ran over your dogma on the way to the studio. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show. The Weird Show. The Weird Show. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show. The Weird Show. The Weird Show. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show.
All right, there you have it. The Weird Show. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Russell Dowden, your host to this fast-moving, unexpected journey of total weirdness that we do call The Weird Show. And again, publisher and editor of Weird Magazine, we are live. It is the 27th day of April, and we are happy to have our family reunion type of show, I guess, this week, because joining us here in the studios today is Shawn Maddox and Chris Kingsley, and my father, Chris Kingsley, is joining us here in the studio, and my brother-in-law, Shawn Maddox. So this is the family reunion of the Weird Show. Say hi, guys.
How's it going?
Anyway, that's very cool of you to do the Weird Show theme, Dad. That was very cool.
My pleasure.
That was awesome. I think I got to play the Theremin app on Shawn's phone. That's very, very cool. If I had one of those, I'd never get off the toilet. Anyways, welcome to the Weird Show. We were off last week again for viewers. We were in Barbados, hanging out with the lovely ladies in the sun, drinking lots of rum, and so we had our 420 show was not. It was the week before when we had on Craig Rubin from Los Angeles, and Craig was on the program Skyping in with a very poor video camera on his Skype, so we ended up just like pretending he was calling in. Anyways, also joining us later in the program here in about 10, 12 minutes from now, we're going to be getting a video Skype in from Philip J. Berg. Phil Berg, again, was on my January 26th show nearly 3 months ago to the day. We'll have Phil be on again with this whole birther stuff here. I got a document cam. I don't know if we got a copy of that, but we might be able to zoom in on this. But I thought we'd have Phil Berg on simply because the Obama birth certificate has finally been released. And there we go. There's a little bit closer of a shot, and my producer's just zooming in our document cam on Barry Soetoro's birth certificate. Oh, excuse me, Barack Hussein Obama's birth certificate. And there we have it. News making lots of headway in the mainstream media this week and today in the last 24 hours. The birth certificate has suddenly been found. We found the birth certificate that was missing all these last 4 years or so. Anyway, joining us on the Weird program, the Weird Show tonight, will also be Philip J. Berg, Skyping in from Pennsylvania. So we'll be sure to talk to Phil Berg on all things elusive regarding Barry Soetoro's birth certificate. So we'll be talking with Phil Berg on that. In the meantime, Chris Kingsley, Shawn Maddox, welcome to the Weird Show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, let's see. Let's check our clock here on what time. We've got a few minutes. Maybe you guys can, introduce yourselves. Chris Kingsley, none other than my father, has been a musician for many years. And I guess tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, Dad, and a brief, give us the
Sure.
1 minute, 2 minute version of,
You bet.
of yourself there, and then we'll go with Shawn.
Well, I'm from East Texas, and I played for many years in the Houston area, played for several years in the Austin area, and then I moved on. I lived and worked in Los Angeles and Nashville, and did some recording all those places. My most recent album I recorded up in Missoula, Montana. You don't sell a lot of records up there, but it's an interesting, beautiful place to live and be inspired. So I've been up there, and I'm real happy to be home. I regard Austin as home, so I'm glad to be back.
Right on. Well, cool. Also joining us is Shawn Maddox. Shawn's been part of our family now for a good, 10 years or more now, I think.
Yeah, I've been a part of the family for, like 12 years now.
Yeah, actually about 12 years. And Shawn, also a musician as well. Tell us a little bit about your music, Shawn. Where do you hail from? And give us the 2 minute version as well.
Oh, the 2 minute version? 2 minute version in
Or a
a
minute.
nutshell is, I play a little bit of music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the music industry for quite a while.
Yes,
Some people out there in internet land that might be watching this show might recognize me as being a sound engineer.
That's right.
But I was in a band called Way, Shape, and Form. We recorded a couple of albums, and then I've been doing my own thing with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, and you have, and it's pretty cool stuff too with the acoustics, and we're probably going to get you to share in and jam some songs and as well, and so it should be cool, and maybe we'll get you to do one here shortly. Anyways, which one of you guys want to start us off with a song tonight? Dad?
I can do. Actually, I'd kind of like to do a new one. That sounds kind of like an old one, but I like it.
Okay.
It's called The Banjo Man Cometh. The banjo man cometh like a thief in the night, and the sad song he sings will make everything right, with the sound of the trumpet and the rhythm of the drums. If there's anyone left when the banjo man comes, in a world without music save the song of the birds, he brought us the tune and he taught us the words. He gave us a vision and he gave us a chance to join in the singing and to join in the dance. So we learned how to listen and we learned how to see, and with one glimpse of freedom we yearned to be free. We We followed our hearts till we tripped on our brains, then fearfully crawled back to cling to our chains. The sun and the moon and the stars lead the way. He journeys by night and he journeys by day, with the wisdom of age and the boldness of youth. The banjo man comes home to bring us his truth. We look with anxiety up to the sky, and we all wonder when, and we all wonder why. And we wonder if things are at all what they seem. Will the banjo man come, or is all this a dream? The banjo man cometh like a thief in the night, and the sad song he brings will make everything right, with the sound of the trumpet and the rhythm of the drums. If there's anyone left when the banjo man comes, with the sound of the trumpet and the rhythm of the drums. If there's anyone left when the banjo man comes.
Right on.
Thank you.
I like that. The Banjo Man. What inspired that song?
I don't know. I do know. There was a fella who had a car dealership in Hamilton, Montana, where I live. And he used to hire me to do parties. But he got me mixed up with some other musician that played banjo. I played 12-string guitar most of the time. And so he always called me the Banjo Man. And and that was just his name for me. And so I thought, there's a tambourine man, there's a guitar man, there's a piano man. What the heck? We need a Banjo Man song.
I like that song, Banjo Man. That's a very beautiful song.
Thank you.
So that was it. You're the Banjo Man.
Yeah, me. That's me.
Well, very cool, Dad. I'd like to get Shawn maybe to play a song and share something with us as well. But I want to also at the same time be very mindful of my Skype-in guest from Pennsylvania. He is going to be chiming in any second now. And if he does, maybe I just need to call him. What do you think, Producer X? Should I just contact? Let's just call him. And we'll come right back to Shawn. And Shawn's got some really, really cool songs that he's going to play, and Dad's got some stuff that he's going to share that I grew up on. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and chime back into Philip Berg. Let me get him on here. We just fly by the seat of our pants here on the Weird Show. Because you know what? Damn it, that's how we do things. Anyways, let's see if we can't get Phil on. Here, let's try this again. Philip Berg again. Philip J. Berg is the attorney that spearheaded most of the Obama's birth certificate movement. He was on all the Fox News and all of the major networks regarding up-to-date information regarding Obama. He's filed an appeal with the Supreme Court that we need to see the birth certificates. He was supposedly born in Hawaii, and if we can't get a hold of him, we'll just go right back to Shawn. So
just leave it open and we'll...
if he calls back, he'll know we called and we'll get him on. But I want to at least make the attempt to let him know that we told him we'd have him on at 9:15.
Just leave it up there.
So we'll just leave that there and move right on along to Shawn Maddox. Shawn, what song are we going to hear from you, my friend?
I was thinking of a really romantic song. y'all like romance?
Romance?
Oh, absolutely.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I was thinking about that. Little song, little ditty. Shine up my shoes. That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna kick the cat. Hey, what's wrong with that? Deliver 5,000 pounds of chocolate to your door. I'm a stalking my baby once more. Stalking, stalking, I've cut all your phone wires. I cut your power too. I ripped out your distributor cap. What you gonna do? There ain't nowhere to run. There ain't nowhere to hide. 'Cause I'm already inside. Stalking, stalking. Yes, I didn't realize that you weren't at home. You were out sneaking around instead of being alone. If I can't have you, then no one ever will. And I guess it's time to kill. Murder, murder, stalking, stalking my baby.
Yeah, stalking my baby. So, stalking, very cool. That's
She
pretty
needed
good.
to be stalked.
That's very cool. We're going to the phone lines. We've already got phone calls, and I haven't even shouted out the number yet. Let's go to the weird line. Welcome to the Weird Show. You're on the Weird Show with Chris Kingsley and Shawn Maddox. Who's calling?
Stalker.
Hold on, let's fix our
Oh,
audio.
you know what? Hang on. You have to plug in the phone.
Stand by.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, we got
Hello.
Here we go.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, that's close enough. I don't have a camera here. Hey, I like your show, bud.
Hey, is that my Uncle Jerry?
That's the one. Your favorite one.
Right on. That's my favorite uncle.
All right. Hey, I like your show. I didn't know Shawn could sing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was good. First time I heard him before.
Yeah, Shawn's pretty good, actually. He's not bad.
I've heard your dad many a time. Anyway, just to let you know that I got the program, and I'm impressed. This is really something in HD after all.
Yeah, but we're coming to you in HD. That's SMTX, San Marcos Television.tv, SMTX.tv, and our good friends at Coolabyte allow for the live, faster than real-time HD streaming and the world's fastest video encoding software with our friends at Coolabyte that make the Weird Show possible. So,
all right, this is cool. What's the commercial deal there? Say it again.
The Weird Show.
Who's your sponsor?
My sponsor is Coolabyte. They are not our sponsor; they're our media partners. But Coolabyte, they stream the Nobel Prize acceptance speech from Barack Obama, and they stream the NFL games on mobile devices, and they do a lot of all of the high definition streaming technology stuff that's out there is Coolabyte. So we're media partners with them, and they make the Weird Show possible.
Well, that's mighty nice of them. Hey, I like it. I'm going to let you on with the show. I just wanted to let you know that I got it and I'm enjoying it. So I'll hang up and let you get along there.
All right, Jerry. Well, we'll have Dad's going to perform a couple more songs, and we'll have him doing maybe Wildflower or Long Haired Lover or something here shortly.
Fantastic.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, pal.
All right. My Uncle Jerry calling in from Nederland, Texas.
Yes.
That's very, very cool.
Good to hear from you, Jerry.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Well, anyways, let's move along here a little bit. That was Stalkin' from Shawn, and we've already had the. And by the way, thanks for doing the Weird Show theme. That was really cool. The Weird Show. That was definitely a cool thing there. I may actually use that as the official theme from here on out. As well. Maybe, last week, Dad, was our 420, would have been our 420 show, but being the, let's just say, open-minded as folks as we are, we took the 420 date off. Jokingly, we were in Barbados, but we were off on 420, and I thought, because I had promised you guys we'd get you all on, but we had to take a week off, and anyways, I think in honor of the 420 theme of last week's show, I'd like to see if you would do the Wildflower for us.
Absolutely. This is a song that sort of has a little history. I was in Houston forming a trio with a couple of other guys, and early in the day, I thought the trio was kaput, was ended forever. I wrecked one of the other guys.
That's right.
In the trio's car. And so we had a rehearsal that evening, and he and the other fellow in the trio went away and left me with
your thoughts,
my thoughts, and a little something to smoke. Nope.
To think about.
To think about. So I wrote this song, and it became the name of our group, actually.
And this is Wildflower.
It's called Wildflower. So Wildflower grows in my mind, and in fact it did.
All right, Chris Kingsley live here on The Weird Show.
Oh, wildflower grows in my mind. I want to leave this confusion and these heartaches behind. I'll follow that sweet, sweet fragrance to whatever I may find. Because a wildflower grows in my mind. I've got a song rolling round in my head, a song about faith and hope and sorrow, about the tears that we've shed. Don't wanna sing it tomorrow, you know tomorrow we might be dead. I've got a song rolling song rolling round in my head. Whoa, I said, a wildflower grows in my mind. I wanna leave this confusion and these heartaches behind. I'll follow that sweet, sweet fragrance to whatever I may find. Because a wildflower, wildflower, wildflower grows in my mind.
Right on, Wildflower.
Thank you, guys.
So you joined. So you went back to the guys, told them, "Hey, our band's going to be called Wildflower."
Yeah, well, I had
What did they say? What did they say?
Well,
to that?
I taught them the harmonies to it, and we sang it, and it sounded really nice. And they decided that's our theme song, that's our name. It wasn't the end of the world. The guy's BMW got fixed, and it was okay.
And then Wildflower was
Wildflower
born in Houston, Texas.
Thrived and grew and became, well, you know.
Well, that was like the song that y'all. That was like your closing song.
It was
of the
our
night.
theme song.
Yeah.
Every time we played it.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I grew up, of course, on that one, and I remember that one very well. Wildflower, great song. Great to have you here on the program, all the way from Hamilton, Montana.
Yep.
In town visiting. You'll be back performing live at the Triple Creek Ranch Resort
Exactly.
Thursdays.
It'll be Thursdays through May, and then it goes back to my regular schedule, which is Wednesdays and Saturdays through their season, which is through the end of October.
Still performing live music in Darby there at the famous or infamous. Not too infamous, but it's infamous. But to the people that go there, not the rest of us don't know about that place.
Yeah,
I don't think. But the Triple Creek Ranch Resort, Wednesdays and Thursdays, Chris Kingsley, there in Darby, Montana, all the way down from the Big Sky Country back home here in his roots here in Texas. What's a Texas song that you do? I know. We've got a list of songs that we might have you do, but
Well,
what was one that was a Texas one? Of course, you're like, pick one I remember. Damn it.
Okay.
But is there
Well,
something particular that what strikes you about Texas?
When I first moved up to Montana, I was in a club and I heard somebody say something about Montana being the Big Sky State, and then I thought, I'm from the Lone Star State. Wouldn't that be a cool title for a song, a Lone Star in the Big Sky?
Yeah.
And so I kicked that idea around, and I decided, what the heck, I'll write a song called that.
So Lone Star in the Big Sky.
Yeah, so that's this.
All right, let's do that one, and then we'll hear from Shawn.
I'm a lone star up in the big sky, dreaming of my gal back home in Abilene, and wishing on a lone star up in the big sky. She was more than just a sweet Montana dream. She wrote me from the broken heart of Texas, said she'd be up to see me in the fall, though she signed it with a lot of O's and X's. December rolled around, there was snow all on the ground. She was nowhere to be found, my baby wasn't there at all. Now I'm a lone star up in the big sky, dreaming of my gal back home in Abilene, and wishing on a lone star up in the big sky. She was more than just a sweet Montana dream. Alice said she'd be my one and only, but all she did was hurt me to the core. I called her at her mother's, I was lonely. She said I left her out in Dallas at some country music palace. Now I'm sad to say that Alice doesn't live here anymore. Now I'm a Lone star up in the big sky, dreaming of my gal back home in Abilene, and wishing on a lone star up in the big sky. She was more than just a sweet Montana dream. I'm a lone star up in the big sky.
Right on. All right.
Nice.
Texan
Thank you.
in the big sky country. All right. Chris Kingsley, you're live in the studio here at San Marcos, Texas. I'm Russell Dowden, publisher and editor of Weird Magazine, and your host of this fast-moving, unexpected journey of total weirdness that we call The Weird Show. Also, Shawn Maddox. Shawn, I'd like to see you do, or hear you do, your 420 song.
I think I got one.
I think you do have one for us that would be mighty appropriate as well. And let's hear as you guys do battle here on dueling guitars here on the Weird Show. This is my family reunion show here with Dad and my brother-in-law, Shawn Maddox. This is Shawn's. What's this one called, Shawn? Should we say it or?
No, don't. I think they'll get it.
They'll get it.
'Cause I'm pretty redundant with it, so I think
Okay.
we'll get it.
Shawn Maddox here on the Weird Show, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out.
I'm getting sideways each time I meet ya. I come to your house and this is how you greet me with that skunky shit that knock your dick in the dirt. You can punch me in the face and darling, it won't even hurt. 'Cause I'm sideways, I come to your house, I smoke you out, your teeth go south from that skunky shit that knock your dick in the dirt. You can punch me in the face and darling, it won't even hurt. 'Cause I'm sideways, have me throwing gravel in my own driveway, have me using your cat for a pillow, your dog for a bed, I'm freaking sideways, yeah. You can kick me in the face, darling, it won't even hurt. So I tried to limit my visitations with you. I couldn't think one single thought through. My eyes were bloodshot, my head was a mess. And then I saw you outside my house and I said, what the heck? Let's get sideways again, I'll tell you no lie. Let's get sideways again before I tell you goodbye. I've been doing a 95-mile-an-hour power slide all the way to San Antonio, sideways. You can punch me in the face, darling, it won't even hurt. Sideways, sideways, sideways.
Yeah, Sideways Right on.
That was about my neighbor. You want me to tell you about the story?
Yeah, well, you used to go over there and get sideways.
Yeah. One time I came outside my house and there was this old man standing there, and I'd seen him around, my neighborhood, and never really talked to him much. And he said, "Hey neighbor, you like flowers?" Only it's more like this. "Do you like flowers? The skunky kind?" I said, "Well, I think I like flowers a bit." He says, "Care to smell some?" I said, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good." Go over to his house and he says, "Careful with this shit. This stuff will make you sideways." By the time I left, I was upside down, though.
That's a cool story, and of course, there you have it.
It might have even been 420 when that happened. I'm not sure. But he had some nice smelling flowers.
I bet he did, because did you ever play that song for him?
Yeah. In fact, most of those one-liners are his, like a 95 mile an hour power slide all the way to San Antonio. You're gonna be using my cat for a pillow and my dog for a bed.
Cat for a pillow, dog for a bed.
And throwing gravel in my own driveway. That's all. Yeah, his one-liners.
That's very cool. Very cool. What would you like to play next, Dad? You want to contribute something else here?
Yeah, I was thinking, I got a song kind of wraps me up in a nutshell, maybe. Nutshell being altogether apropos.
All right, one of my favorites.
This is just what I do. I'm a songwriting fool, stubborn as a country mule, and I never went to school to learn my trade. I learned it all across this land. I just took my pen in hand. I fought hard and made my stand, and my dues are paid. Wrote about tortured souls, misplaced goals, and riders on the range. Hunted, driven men who broke some rules. Starlit nights, lovers' fights, the predictable and the strange. Told you once I'm a songwriting fool. I'm a songwriter by birth, above everything else on earth, and I can write you a song of mirth or a song of woe. Well, you may think it's all been said, that ain't true, 'cause I ain't dead. I'm a writer from the top of my head to my little toe. Wrote about battles fought, love that's bought, and lives lived out in fear. Misfit children striving to be cool. True love lost, freedom's cost, and girls I once held dear. Say it again, I'm a songwriting fool. I write country, I write soul, I write blues or rock and roll. I write songs that turn the whole world upside down. Songs that haunt you as you sleep, make you laugh and make you weep. Songs that folks all want to keep just to have around. Wrote about sleazy bars, sad guitars, and a hush before a storm. Superstars and teenage girls who drew. Summer's breeze, Texas trees, and women soft and warm. Don't ask me how, just a songwriting fool. I'm a troubadour for our times, and my music and my rhymes peals out like steeple chimes across this land. To the mighty, to the small, I foretell what will befall, and the words and the notes are all at my command. Wrote about kings and clowns, ups and downs, and struggles to be free. Poverty and parties by the pool. When I'm gone, write upon my stone for all to see. Here lies the body of a songwriting fool. Wrote about kings and clowns, ups and downs, and struggles to be free. Poverty and parties by the pool. When I'm gone, write upon my stone for all to see. Here lies the body of a song-writing fool.
Awesome. Songwriting fool. That's Chris Kingsley. Thumbs the man up right there. Honestly, Dad, you've got. I don't know how many songs we've gone over this when I was a kid, but I know that there was, in a matter of thousands of songs.
Yeah, a couple of thousand.
Couple of thousand of songs. This songwriting fool has written on over the years.
But then I'm old, so.
You're not that old.
No.
But no, songwriting fool. One of the ones you're mostly well known for. A lot of people don't know is that you had a hit song there that was recorded by one of the Osmonds.
Yeah.
Songwriting. What was that? Was a Long-Haired Lover.
Yeah, Long-Haired Lover from Liverpool.
You know that can be YouTubed.
Oh yeah. Well, it has been, but not by me.
Not by you. Well, you're live on the internet tonight, and maybe we can clip this out and get your version of that song on there if you'd like to do Long-Haired Lover the way it should be done.
Sure, heck yeah.
we can have you do that one now if you'd like. Long-Haired Lover.
Sure,
that one's all over YouTube. If you just YouTube Long-Haired Lover, you'll get to see the Jimmy
Osmond's rendition.
And in fact, tell the viewers that what you were telling me, that he was the youngest.
He was the youngest recording artist ever to receive a gold record in recording history, and that was for my song.
And that was for your song,
yeah.
And that no one since has ever
at that age. No, he was 8 years old when his career began, and so he was started really young. And he started with my song, luckily for me.
Yeah.
And they're sort of at the peak of the Osmond mania in England. And with the Liverpool being the title and everything, I guess it just sort of took off.
Long-Haired Lover from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Let's hear it the way you wrote it.
I'm famous over across the pond, but here not so much. I'll be your long-haired lover from Liverpool, and I'll do anything you say. I'll be your clown or your puppet or your April fool if you'll be my summer daisy from L.A. I'll be your leprechaun and sit upon an old toadstool and serenade you till I'm old and gray. I'll be your long-haired lover from Liverpool. You'll be my sunshine daisy from L.A. I saw a lovely daisy on a mountainside. There were lots of other flowers too, but all the other flowers hung their heads and cried because the loveliest of all of them was you. Since you were evidently the exception to the rule, I picked you quickly, then we ran away. 'Cause I was your long-haired lover from Liverpool. You were my sunshine daisy from L.A. I'll be your long-haired lover from Liverpool, and I'll do anything you ask. I'll be your clown or your puppet or your April fool, cut my hair or even wear a mask. I'll be your Valentine and you'll be mine, and things will be cool. We'll groove along together every day. I'll be your long-haired lover from Liverpool. You'll be my sunshine daisy from L.A. You'll be my sunshine daisy from L.A. You'll be my sunshine daisy from L.A. Thank you.
Right on. Yeah, long-haired lover from Liverpool. That's something else. And you know, Dad, if you YouTube long-haired lover from Liverpool, you'll find a 1972 cartoon that was done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole slew of videos and of Jimmy Osmond performing the song when he was a kid, as well as recently.
Right.
He's actually done well.
I was the
touring
first,
with that.
I was the first to record it, and then the Mike Curb congregation recorded it as an album cut, and they performed it on the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour in I don't know 1968 or something, and along about then the Osmonds' mom was watching that particular show, and she said, "That's the song I want for my baby to do." And so that's how it sort of happened.
So she got what she wanted.
She got what she wanted. Yeah,
Wow.
She usually did.
Let's do this. I want to get my producer to bring up the phone number on screen. Maybe we'll take a few more phone calls if anybody wants to chime in and talk with our guests, Chris Kingsley and Shawn Maddox, here on The Weird Show. Again, it's kind of my personal family reunion show, but I thought we'd do this. It'd be a lot of fun and as well. So the phone number is 512-754-0084. 512-754-0084. If you're watching tonight and you'd like to call and have a question for Shawn or Chris Kingsley, then certainly feel free to chime in here on the phone lines and speak your mind. Again, you can check out Chris Kingsley Wednesdays and Saturdays at the Triple Crown. Triple Crown would be right behind us. Actually, you know what? You might be able to catch him Sunday for that open mic night at Triple Crown right here behind our studios here in San Marcos. But Wednesdays and Saturdays at Triple Creek Ranch Resort in Darby, Montana. Let's go to the phone lines real quick here. Bring up our next caller. Welcome to The Weird Show. You're on the air with Chris Kingsley and Shawn Maddox. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Cameron. What's going on?
Hey, Cameron. How are you?
Doing well. Hey, I really like the sound tonight. It's sounding great.
Cool. This is my old man's up here performing, as well as Shawn. Hey, Cameron, can you turn your computer down a tad?
Is that your dad?
Yep, that's my father. Can you turn your computer down? We're getting feedback on your PC.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. I got you.
You should know better than that, Cameron. Cameron co-hosts the show with me occasionally,
yes.
and there you go. Well, I'm glad you're watching, Cameron.
I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I dig the finger picking guitar and the mellow style. I'm really digging it.
Cool. Cameron writes our Conspiracy Corner column for Weird Magazine, which the new magazine will be out, looks like next week, early. And, I guess, did you send me your new article? I think I got that earlier.
I did, yeah. I'm pretty stoked about it. I kind of just went on a rant, and hopefully there's some information in there.
Well, I get a lot of comments from people on the Conspiracy Corner, Cameron. You should know that people do like your work, so it's not just me that reads it and enjoys it. Other people do too.
Oh, I really appreciate that, and it sounds great tonight. I just wanted to tune in, and I'm sorry I missed Dr. Phil Berg. You gotta have me on one day when you have him on, because.
Well, we were trying to get him Skyped in, and I wanted to have him chime in on the whole birth certificate, because it's. Maybe we could try him again, actually.
Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I didn't miss out on that, but I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to find out what he knows. I've heard him speak before, and he'd be great to have on the show. But I really like what y'all are doing tonight. It sounds great, and peace. I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay, sounds good, Cameron. Call back if we do get Phil Berg on. Alrighty. Cool. All right, there he goes, Cameron Catrone, our co-host and Conspiracy Corner writer for Weird Magazine, and we're trying Phil Berg again. He's got to be inundated with other interviews. Yeah. He was supposed to give me about 10 minutes of his time on video Skype, and I probably should have grabbed my cell phone from my desk, and we might have been able to patch a cell phone call into him. But the fact is, with all this late breaking news on Obama and the birth certificate, he's probably gotten an opportunity to be on Fox News and just passed over little old Russell Dowden over here on the Weird Show.
Again, the phone number if you'd like to call in, again, is 512-754-0084 if you'd like to talk anything weird with us or just maybe have a request. Who knows? We might have some family out there watching still if you want to request something for Chris Kingsley to play. Again, it's our reunion show. I'm Russell Dowden. 512-754-0084 right there on the screen. And if you'd like to call back in or call us up with a request. Anyway, Dad, you've got a book out here we're working on. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. I'm at the behest of my weird son.
Yours truly.
Russell Dowden. I started to work on my memoirs.
Hold on. Let's take a call before we get to your memoirs, which I do want to plug. Welcome to the Weird Show. You're on the air with Chris Kingsley and Shawn Maddox.
Hello. I was going to ask Chris Kingsley a question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. He wrote a song that a lady that had a TV show sponsored by Johnson's Wax up in Racine, Wisconsin. Ask him if he remembers that theme song that she used in her program that he wrote.
That's ancient history. That was a song called "I Feel a Song Coming On." It was on my first album, and the producer of the album liked the song and thought it'd be a great theme song for the Barbara McNair show.
Barbara McNair.
Yeah, Barbara McNair had a show on in Los Angeles, and it was really a simple little country song, but the music director of her show was Quincy Jones.
Oh, wow.
And after Quincy Jones got through with my song, it didn't sound like the little country song that I wrote. And I sort of quit doing it. So I don't know that I know how to play that anymore. I haven't played it.
I Feel a Song Coming On?
I Feel a Song Coming On.
I remember that song.
Yeah, I don't.
I always liked it. I thought it was a good one. I just couldn't think of Barbara McNair's name.
Yeah.
Nor the name of the song.
Yeah,
But
that was on a Metro Media Network show, and it was produced in Los Angeles, and it went out to 26 different markets.
Right.
And it just happened to be where you were able to get it. I'm pleased to say.
Right.
But
okay. Well, thanks. You answered my question.
yeah,
And,
I'm sorry I couldn't do your request.
I wish you remembered it because I always liked it. But you know the ones I like, the vows you couldn't keep, and what's that other one I like? I can't remember now.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, those were some good ones too.
Yeah.
Anyway, have fun with the family, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Right, sounds good.
Thanks, Jerry.
All right, bye, Russell.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye, Russell.
Bye-bye.
My big brother.
That's cool. Right on.
One of my two favorite big brothers. I have to say that because the other one could be watching. You never know.
Well, that's pretty cool. Let's get back real quick to the book. I know the phone call. Where at the behest of your oldest son, yours truly.
Yes, my crazy weird son. He called me, and Russell called me some time ago, and said I needed to set down some of my memories of my hippie days.
Yes.
And for posterity, for my legacy or whatever. So I started work on the working title is now American Hippie. And I hope to be done with it before very long. I have 24 chapters, I think maybe 25 now. I did one this morning. So it's a work in progress. But it's sort of a recounting of the wonderful early days of the counterculture, as they called it.
Right.
And when I hitchhiked with my best friend John Herbert Varley, who's now a famous science fiction writer, John Varley.
Yeah.
From when we left Nederland together and hitchhiked to San Francisco, we had no earthly idea there would be 60,000 crazy long-haired people in Golden Gate Park when we arrived in
Wow.
in 1966. It just didn't occur to us. And the expression hippie had not been formed. There was the beatnik was sort of a loose thing that tied people together, but the hippie moniker came along later, and it was a very interesting time. The day that he and I arrived in Golden Gate Park, Ken Kesey was going up and down Haight Street with a wheelbarrow full of perfectly legal LSD, passing it out to anybody and everybody who wanted such a thing, or to experiment with such a thing, and I got some of that. And so anyway,
You see?
it was an interesting time. Those of us who can
See?
remember,
There's a meaning to the madness here. I'm telling you. Now, Dad. Also, you were there with Ken Kesey. I know you've told you guys have shared stories with us where you were also partaking with Tim Leary.
Our first night in San Francisco, we spent at the Diggers Creative Society, and it was a place to crash. And in fact, Peter Coyote was headed up that outfit, and we got high with Allen Ginsberg, who recited some of his magnificent poetry that night. And he had a little sidekick who had played the squeeze organ, and everybody chanted, and it was before we imbibed the
got sideways?
The subs before we got sideways. He went around the circle, and there were about 30 in the circle, and said, "Are you a cop? Are you a cop? Are you a cop? Are you a cop?" Until it got around to me, I was not a cop, and it was that as soon as that was satisfied, then nobody had to worry about there being entrapment, and so it was safe to pull out a doobie and fire it up and get sideways as you want to.
Sideways you did. Dad, I've had on, and as you know this, I've had on Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong have been on the weird radio shows in the past, and then my producer and I had them on when they were touring in Texas, and so we had them on again, and I mentioned to them that you used to open up for them
as a matter of fact,
at the Climax.
Tell
us where it was, when it was, and how that came to work out.
I was signed with a company called Winters Rosen Productions, and they had signed my management over to Bob Marcucci and Associates, and Bob got me a gig at this brand new place called the Climax on La Cienega Boulevard in Hollywood, or the sort of the ritzy part. And so I started this gig, and they had a comedy team they said was from Canada, and it was a Chinese Chicano duo, and who knew?
Right.
That it was their first sort of American premiere, and they played the Climax Club, and they were so hysterical. I promise you that every single night, several people, me included, every time, fell on the floor from our seats in just stitches, laughing at those guys. They got funnier as the night went on. Their final set was always the most incredible, and they were just extremely funny on stage. Off stage, not so much, but they were great. They were great, and I had the privilege of opening for them and playing in their breaks for about 6 weeks, and then they were replaced by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I opened for them for a while, and then Hot Tuna replaced Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I opened for them and played in their breaks.
So you were the opening act while... here's a shot of a Weird Magazine cover right there.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Of the guys on the most recent tour here in through Texas. And in fact, this little clip right here is me interviewing Cheech here on the Weird Show.
Oh, yes.
And I mentioned to both of them that that you...
they remembered the Climax. They just forgot the 60s.
Yeah, they just probably couldn't remember the 60s.
No, who the heck could?
I don't know that they could even remember the 70s, the two of them. But my
book may be really a short read. I'm not sure.
But I think, Dad, an American Hippie, I think that's a great title. I can already envision some of the artwork that we're going to help work on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll end up I'll probably do a prototype kind of cover for you on it, but I really think that having read or you recite, rather, several of the chapters to me, that it's going to be something really that we can all look forward to. And anybody that
lived through that
will appreciate it. And I think, my generation and my kids' generation will appreciate it because it's a look into what really happened behind the scene and through your eyes as an American hippie, and Chris Kingsley tells this story of his adventures. I think it's really cool.
I just happened to be in a lot of interesting places. I was in Chicago the day before the 1968 Democratic Convention, and I sat in a room and listened to a draft counselor, a guy who counseled people how to get to Canada or do whatever they alternatively to getting drafted, and he knew what was coming, and he said there are going to be lifetime police force captains out there whose daughters have run off with some long-haired hippie scum, and who in their eyes are pissing on the flag. That was, that would have been their take on it. And I just knew I really didn't want any more part of that war than I did the war in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
And I got the heck out of Dodge. I just really
Speaking of that, we've probably got about less than 10 minutes left on the program, and I want to wrap things up shortly. But that's where Cheech went. Cheech went to Canada.
Oh yeah.
After with all that stuff going on, that's where he met. That's where he met Tommy at the comedy troops that Tommy had been doing there in Canada. And speaking of that, let's. I'm going to ask a request and have you do Valentine's Day.
Oh my goodness.
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
After telling that story, and then we'll wrap things up, and then we'll go hang out and get sideways with my brother-in-law Shawn Maddox after that. So this is Chris Kingsley doing one of my favorite songs, which I think would be very appropriate if it was Afghanistan. Anyway, just hear this song out. This is Valentine's Day.
I have to tell you, just to preface this real briefly. I had gone to the Old Quarter in Houston, and sort of auditioned for to play there, and I was going to be there on Valentine's Day, the next couple of weeks down the road, and I was to start. I was to play there Valentine's Day with Townes Van Zandt. He was going to be there, and so I thought I ought to have a Valentine's Day song. And I started writing it, and it really didn't set out to be a war protest song at all. Initially, but then I got peace and calm. What rhymes with that? Vietnam. I thought, okay. Then it turned into what it turned into. So.
This is Valentine's Day by Chris Kingsley right here on The Weird Show.
It's the 14th day of February. All the world is gay and oh so merry. I'm in love. Today is Valentine's Day. In the air is a feeling of peace and calm. What do we care that today men die in Vietnam? Why should we share the guilt in that? It's Valentine's Day. We didn't start this war. We can't imagine what all those men are dying for. We just sit back and pay our income tax to buy the guns for them to use so we can relax and enjoy the 14th day of February. Most all the world seems gay and oh so merry. Let's be in love today. It's Valentine's Day. I When you a young draftee from West Virginia, his sergeant told him, kid, you just ain't got it in ya. But if you don't kill them, they'll kill you. Happy Valentine's Day. We did 1 year ago today, war's ugly bullets took his young life away. On his nameless tombstone there is only a note. Here lies a lad who wasn't even old enough to vote. So let us celebrate the 14th day of February. At least our own little world seems gay and oh so merry. Let's be in love. Today is Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Right on, right on. I really think that song can resonate with today in Afghanistan. It could also, you know, that's a song that needs to be heard too, even to this day, as we regrettably have evolved ourselves geopolitically around the planet as masters of the universe in the name of our politicians, unfortunately. Great song. Why don't we wrap things up here, I guess, on the Weird Show tonight? And I want to thank Shawn Maddox. Shawn, you got something else you would like to share, maybe? Or are you good? Or you think, is there another one you'd like to do?
I was thinking, why don't we close out with the Weird
Weird
Show
Show
song?
The
Let's
Weird
do it
Show
again.
song?
Yeah, the
Do
one
that
that we
again?
started
Okay,
with.
yeah, let's do that
Some
again.
people that are just
Okay,
tuning in
get
now.
this.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll wrap it up with the Weird Show theme here on The Weird Show. And yeah, this is cool. I get to play the theremin on the
I
iPhone.
love the theremin on this. It's perfect. There's crazies in the woodshed, freaks up the chimney flue. The Izzard of Oz where the Wizard of Oz was, up the old wazoo. There's mutants from 3 Mile Island, we all know by the eerie glow. All calling in tonight on Weird Radio, Weird Radio, Weird Radio. All calling in tonight on Weird Radio. Now spaceship crashed out in Roswell, who knows where the bodies went? No weather balloon ever changed the tune or the lies of the government. So we'll keep on asking questions, cause folks have a right to know. We may just find out tonight on Weird Radio, Weird Radio, Weird Radio. We may just find out tonight on Weird Radio. Alien abductions, strange lights in the south of France. Vulcans and Cardassians all join in the cosmic dance. My karma ran over your dogma on the way to the studio. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show, the Weird Show, the Weird Show. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show, the Weird Show, the Weird Show. E.T. phone home tonight on the Weird Show.
There you go.
Yeah.
See you next week.